Good evening. I'm recording this on Tuesday, July 5th. Our semester for Humanities 1301 second summer will officially start tomorrow, July 6th. So I'm going to post this. I'll send an email out to everyone and put an announcement up as well. This is just a little welcome to the class and a brief introduction to the course. Currently what you're seeing is the home page, so when you click on the word home, or when you click on your course, this is what should come up. This gives you an image about me, and then it also, if I can get this to work appropriately, it'll also tell you a few details. It shows you that my office is in Athens at the Gibbs Building, Academic A230. However, during the summer, I'm really not there. We're very limited in when we're in to the office during the summertime. I list office hours as 9 to 10 in the morning, Monday through Thursday. I will generally be on the computer during that time in case you need to send me a message or anything along those lines. The phone number that's listed there, the 903-675-6312, is my office phone. And again, since I'm not in the office during the summer, that phone number will not work. So the best way to contact me will be through the email address that you see here, james.reed@tvcc.edu. As I said, I'm generally on the computer early in the morning checking to see if there are messages, and I will try to respond as quickly as I can. Again, this is just a welcome to the course, and a little detail here telling you a little bit what the course is like, what it is. You'll see the same information in the first announcement that is listed. You'll also see the organization to the course here, and you can literally click on these to get to the modules, or you can go over here to the modules. As I said, this information that is listed right here under the welcome is actually posted as the first announcement, and if I click on announcements, it will show up right here. And there is the details. Again, it's the same information that I have posted on the home page. The modules are set up in such a way so that they follow through the details of the textbook, and it likes to jump sometimes. So we'll go back to the top, and you will see the Start Here module. This is the first one you begin we'll go through. Here's a welcome, again, some details about humanities, and I'll just click on it very quickly, and images will appear that are tied into what we study. Humanities, as it says here, is a course that is designed to let you, as it says here, cover the monumental landmarks and the journey of the human imagination. Covers a little bit of everything. The Ohio Humanities Council several years ago gave a fairly succinct and detailed description and definition of what humanities is. So when you take this course, these are some of the areas that we look at: archaeology, comparative religion, ethics, history, languages, linguistics, literature, jurisprudence, philosophy, history, theory, and criticism of the arts, aspects of social sciences that use historical or philosophical approaches, and the humanities in general, which basically means we cover a little bit of everything. We really do. We will talk about archaeology and the ruins that have been found and explored. We will discuss about the religions. When you get to chapter 6, you'll start, there's discussion about the rise of religions and how those have impacted cultures. And that's really where the focus will be. It's about the culture and what we are. As it says here, it's the stories, ideas, and words that help us make sense of our lives and our world. And there's some other details here that are listed that gives you a little bit more about it. What each of these terms up here listed actually involve. And so again, just read through this one. And then the next part talks about how to access your TVCC Canvas e-course, which I always find very interesting. I point out a little bit of the logical fallacy that this represents. If you're reading this in Canvas, then you have accessed your Canvas e-course. So you probably do not need that information. So going back to the modules, to start here, Canvas orientation, if you need that, it'll help you. Technical support, how you can find that. Online student resources, just how to contact those. course orientation, what this involves and how it's set up. Again, how to get started and details here. And then the next part will give you practical information. Again, my office phone, which, as I said earlier, I'm not there during the summertime. How to contact me by email. Also, some other services that the school does provide that you might find useful. Excuse me. And the breakdown, which this is usually what most people want to know, the grading policy, how they are set up. You'll have 4 exams, counting 60% of your grade. You have 1 essay to do, is 20%, and then you have 5 reading quizzes, again, counting 20%. Again, since you're online, we do not really have an attendance policy, but do follow the rules of netiquette. You can click on that link right there to read and familiarize yourself with those. This is a syllabus, and if you click on this link here, and I'll do this opening in a new window for right now, it'll take you to TVCC. It'll take you to the syllabus itself, just so you can look over that one. The next part is the course outline, and it's divided by weeks. Technically, we have 5 weeks. We have approximately right at 30 days, so that doesn't really come out to 5 weeks, not quite. But I have it divided into 5 weeks for us. We are starting week 1, of course, on the 6th. We will conclude everything by August 8th. That's when your final is scheduled, so that in case anything happens, we have a little lapse over through to midday on the 9th. But anyway, this is how it's laid out. You'll see the details of covering 5 chapters a week, 5 or 4, depends on which week you're looking at. At the end of week 1, which is at the end of the 6th day, you have a reading quiz to do. You'll see it's reading quiz over chapter 2 and 3. And then you have your first exam to do, and we'll go over dates here in a moment. End of week 2, which is another 6 days, you have a reading quiz over 6 and 7, chapter 6 and 7. And then you have your second exam over chapter 6 through 10. Week 3, there is a reading quiz over chapters 13 and 14. And you have your first and your only essay that is due. In week 4, you have a reading quiz over 16 and 17 and a major exam over chapters 16 through 19. This time only 4 chapters. And then week 5 also covers only 4 chapters, 20 through 23. And you do have a reading quiz over chapters 21 and 22. And then your final exam will be the 4th exam covering chapters 20 through 23. So I'm going to go back to the module. So there's your course outline. And again, we'll get this moving through here. You have some other instructions about the testing information. Whenever you take an assignment, all your assignments are online within Canvas. The reading quizzes are all within Canvas. For those of you who have MindTap, when you bought your package from the school bookstore, you will have been given access to MindTap as well. None of our assignments are in MindTap. That is just added practice for you if you want to do those. Nothing in MindTap will be scored as part of the grades for the course. The only assignments are within Canvas itself. In case you're not familiar with how to turn in an assignment to turn it in through Canvas, there are instructions here that Canvas provides. But I also have a video for you that's a little more, shall we say, distinct in how it presents it. This is from University of North Carolina, and Dr. Jason Johnson goes through and discusses that. Again, you can just watch this video and he walks you through it. We'll talk more about how to turn in the essay a little bit later. I'll do a video later this summer. I'll go over the essay topics, and then I'll also explain how to submit the essay to turn it in at that time. But you have some details here. This also shows you how to find the feedback once your essays are turned in and I've marked them. This is how you can locate the markings and the comments I will have placed. This is an article over Why Study Humanities, which is an interesting article because it's not from a humanities teacher. Rather, it's an engineering professor who explains why he has his engineering freshmen, engineering majors, take humanities. So again, something for you to look at. Then at the end of the Start Here module, you have a Start Here quiz. It's very simple. Take guesses. Do your best on it. This is not a grade. It is just something that when we are creating our Canvas shells and creating our Canvas courses, we are told to put in a Start Here quiz. It's designed to get students practice with how to use Canvas when taking quizzes. That's all it's here for. It is not a grade. So that's the first part. That's the first module. I'll close this one up. This one is simply from Cengage. They give you some details, some useful tools, as they call it, a toolbox. And when you click on it, you just click on that. It will take you to Cengage, which can take a little longer to get to. And this takes you into My Tab and some areas you can look at and details for it. And again, this is not part of the grading for the course. But in case you want to review or do anything along those lines, you can use that. The next part are the actual modules that involve the work. You'll see they're numbered by the chapters that are covered. You'll either be 1 or 2 chapters at a time. For instance, 2 and 3, both are about Greece, which is why they go together. 6 and 7, as I mentioned earlier, about the religion. 6 and 7 are about the rise of the Hebraic religion and early Christianity, and chapter 7 continues with the idea of Christianity. And so that's why those two are placed together. Chapter 8 is all about Islam. So the chapters go together sometimes because of the logical construction. But in chapter 1, you'll have chapter details, which are simply some overall views and concepts, what your learning outcomes should be, what you're expected to learn when you cover that chapter. And then you have a preview, and you'll notice it says loaded in a new window. I'm going to go to the next part. This next part is actual readings. This is going to be the first chapter. So you click on that gray bar, and you'll be taken to Cengage, where we were previously when we were looking at the Humanities Toolbox. And this will take you to chapter 1. Bear with it just a moment. For those of you who have the ebook access code, the first time you click on this, you will be asked to register with Cengage. And so you'll have to enter that code that you have that came in your packet. If you bought the packet with the print copy as well, you should have a card of some sort, and there's a silver, usually it's a silver coded part that has to be scratched off, and it reveals the code number. So when you click on what I just did, it'll take you to Cengage, and it will ask you to register. And once you register with the code, then this is what will appear. This is the textbook. If you have the print copy of the textbook, this is from the first page. The full page is nothing more than this picture of King Tut. And then here's the reading. And so literally you can go through it. It'll take you through the entire chapter just by clicking next. And it'll show you every picture and all the readings. Here's the text itself. And there's the pictures that are in there, and then here's the text. And as you go through this, you can read it. And when you get ready to take your reading quiz, now you do not have one over chapter 1. But one of the nice aspects about the way the course is laid out, the way the textbook is, at the end of every chapter, and this is also useful for you for your test, at the very end of this outline, this table of contents, you'll see the repetition of the title. You'll notice it says Chapter 1 Beginnings. Well, here's Beginnings. If you click on that, it gives you an outline of the entire chapter. It does not include every detail, but it does hit many of the key points. And when you're taking your reading quiz or your exam, this can be very useful for you to go back and review here. And as you take the exams or reading quizzes, use the textbook. I do not mind that at all. I'm not expecting you to remember every single detail. So please make sure you use your textbook. You can either use the e-version by simply opening that first, then going back and taking the quiz and consulting the e-text, or having your print copy there with you as you're going through it. So this is what the textbook looks like. And I'm going to go back here again to the chapter 1. And you will also see that I think the image flashcards are simply every picture in the textbook with details about it. If you want to review some of those, that's all you have to do. For instance, the first flashcard, and I'll click on it again. Notice it's taking you into Cengage once more. So the first image that should show up, here we go. Give it a moment. And that's a recognizable figure. And if you say, oh, that's King Tut, or if you don't know, you simply flip the card. And there you go. The details are there available for you. In the printed version of the textbook, underneath every picture is all this information. It's the same information. It's all that they've done. And so there are 757 images. These are not just chapter 1. These are all the flashcards, but you can just go through chapter 1. Going back here again, I have PowerPoints again are just the images with details, but I've also posted some additional links to other videos or articles talking about some of the details that have happened more recently. For instance, this is an article, if I can get to it. Well, it didn't go to the right place. I'll have to get the link. It's obviously been broken. This is supposed to take you to mummies that they've just have found a few years ago, and they've just been doing a big reveal. That link obviously is broken, so I'll have to see if I can get that fixed. But I do have additional information for you in each of the chapters. So when you go to chapter 2, after you finish chapter 1, you'll be able to go to chapter 2, 3. They're all it's laid out the same way. This takes you to chapter 2. This takes you to chapter 3. Again, I have the image cards, the PowerPoints, and then I have a link to the Yale sessions. This is the Yale Open Classroom, Open Courses, and this was done a few years ago with Dr. Donald Kagan, and he gives a extensive discussion about ancient Greece. When I say extensive, there are 24 sessions, and each one is about 1 hour long. So if you want to know a little bit more about the Persian War and how that impacted Greece, then you can go here and read Lecture 12. If you want to know about Athenian democracy, then Lecture 15, Lecture 16. If you want to know more about the Peloponnesian Wars, you have 4 different ones, primarily because there were 2 Peloponnesian Wars. So you, again, have access to additional information to explain further, to extend, and to provide details that are not in the textbook. The textbook is fine, but it cannot cover everything. And again, if you have an interest in particular areas, you can look at that. What you will also notice in chapters 2 and 3 is right here at the bottom, you'll see a reading quiz. And when you click on it, it'll take you to your view. If I do the student view, you'll see that it's locked until the 7th. It's not going to become available till the 7th. But you'll see that it has 20 questions. It is timed with 30 minutes, and it is due by July 10th, which, again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 5 days, and your first exam over chapters 1 through 5 is due by the 11th. Let's go back here to the modules. I'm going to close this one. The first exam is in the exam module. I have a different exam module. This is not supposed to be appearing for you guys, so sorry. This is the exam module. And again, there's exam 1, and you just simply click on it. You'll see you have 90 minutes for it. There are 40 questions. If I do the student view, you'll see it's also locked to the 7th. And again, there are 44 questions. 40 are multiple choice. 4 are open-ended. That will ask you to respond to a particular question. When you do so, please use specific details. I also teach English, so I do expect full sentences. I expect correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation in your responses. Those 4 open-ended questions are 5 points each for a total of 20 points on the test. The 40 multiple choice are 2 points each. Let me leave the student view here. And so you have an exam module. He's going to jump again. Always likes to do that. And again, each of the chapters are laid out by corresponding numbers. Chapter 4, again, it's laid out the same way as I showed you for Chapter 1, same way for Chapters 2 and 3. You have the details, you have a preview, you have the chapter itself, which is here. You have some additional videos or links, and I'll have to check, make sure the links are working. They were for Summer 1. Let me check, make sure this one's working. Nope, not working either. I'll have to make sure that the links are working again. I'll see if I can find or update those links. So anyway, this is how the chapters the course is laid out by chapters. Each chapter having something else there, and so you'll have details available for you in that way. I will also be posting some previously recorded videos for you that I made during the either last year or this past spring. I have chapter discussions, and all those do is take you through all the chapters in case you want to watch a video of me talking and going through the material and hearing my comments. I'll have those available for you also. Again, what I want to say basically with this one is just welcome to the course. It will be opening tomorrow morning. This is being recorded on Tuesday evening. You'll be able to watch this starting tomorrow, so welcome to the course, and I'm looking forward to a very successful time.